The year was 2157 when humanity made its first breakthrough. Not on Earth, where billions still went about their daily lives, but in the dusty red caves of Mars' Valles Marineris. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the newly excavated chamber, her helmet lights illuminating symbols that definitely weren't natural formations. After 15 years of Mars mining operations, they'd finally found proof they weren't alone. "Control, are you seeing this?" Sarah's voice trembled as she transmitted the feed from her suit cameras. The symbols pulsed with a faint blue luminescence, responding to her presence. "These markings, they're active. There's some kind of energy signature." The discovery changed everything. Within hours, the chamber was quarantined. Within days, the best minds from Earth were en route to Mars. Within weeks, they realized what they'd found: a technological archive left by an ancient spacefaring civilization. But the archive wasn't just information, it was a beacon, one that had just activated after millennia of dormancy. The response came 3 months later. A massive ship appeared at the edge of the solar system, its design unlike anything humans had theorized possible. The Galactic Alliance had arrived, and they weren't happy to find humans playing with things they didn't understand. High Counselor Zixtal, a towering figure with crystalline features, led the first diplomatic mission to Earth. In the UN Assembly Hall, their translator device conveyed a message that was both a greeting and a warning. "Your species has accessed knowledge beyond its developmental stage. This is concerning." But humanity had already begun to understand the archive's secrets. Dr. Chen and her team had deciphered enough to know that what they'd found wasn't just ancient technology. It was a test. The archive was designed to activate only when discovered by a species with the right combination of technological achievement and cognitive capability. The Alliance's attempts to contain the situation came too late. Research facilities around the world had already started reproducing and improving upon the archive technologies. The first breakthrough came from an unexpected source: a small research lab in Bangalore. Dr. Arun Patel and his team had successfully created a prototype quantum field manipulator, something the archive suggested was impossible for young species to achieve. "The humans are adapting the technologies too quickly," Zixtal reported to the Alliance Council. "They're not just copying the archives. They're innovating, improving. Their neuroplasticity and problem-solving approaches are unprecedented." What the Alliance didn't understand was that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their ability to copy technology, it was their ability to dream beyond it. While the archive provided basic principles, human scientists and engineers were already theorizing applications that the original creators hadn't considered. The first public demonstration came 6 months after the discovery. At a secure facility in the Nevada desert, Dr. Chen's team showcased a device that could manipulate gravitational fields with pinpoint precision. The Alliance observers watched in stunned silence as objects defied physics in ways their own scientists had deemed impossible for another 1,000 years of development. "How?" demanded Sub-Counselor Vrek, their sensory appendages twitching with agitation. "Your species only achieved powered flight a century ago. This level of advancement should be beyond you." Dr. Chen's response would be remembered in history books across the galaxy. "Perhaps you've spent so long following the established paths that you've forgotten how to forge new ones. We may be young, but we dream without limits." The Alliance's concern grew as human innovations continued to accelerate. What they didn't realize was that humanity had already made their most significant discovery, not in the ancient archive, but in understanding why they had been chosen to find it. The archive wasn't a library of technology. It was a key to unlock humanity's potential. As the first year since the discovery drew to a close, Earth had become a center of technological revolution. The Alliance could only watch as humanity took its first true steps into the galactic community, not as students to be guided, but as innovators who would help shape the future of all species. Dr. Chen stood once again in the Mars chamber, now part of a massive research complex. The symbols still pulsed with that same blue light, but now she understood what they truly meant. They weren't just a message from the past. They were a challenge to the future, and humanity was ready to answer it. In the depths of the European Quantum Research Facility beneath the Swiss Alps, Dr. Marcus Wong watched as his life's work finally bore fruit. The quantum matrix, a swirling vortex of subatomic particles, stabilized for the first time. But this wasn't just another experiment in quantum mechanics. It was the foundation of something that would reshape humanity's place in the galaxy. Recording quantum coherence at macro scale, his AI assistant announced, its holographic form flickering with excitement, pattern stability at 97% and holding. The AI, nicknamed ARIA, was itself a product of humanity's rapid technological advancement, developed using principles found in the Mars Archive. The Galactic Alliance's observers, present as always, shifted uncomfortably. They'd seen quantum experiments before, but never like this. Humans weren't supposed to be able to maintain quantum coherence at room temperature. It defied everything they knew about physics. "You're manipulating quantum fields without a containment chamber," stated Ambassador Krell, their exoskeleton's cooling systems working overtime. That's impossible." Marcus smiled, remembering Dr. Chen's words from a year ago about dreaming without limits. Impossible is just another word for something we haven't figured out yet. The Mars Archive showed us that quantum fields exist naturally in four-dimensional space. We just needed to learn how to see them. But the quantum breakthrough was more than just an impressive display of physics. It was the key to something greater, a new form of propulsion that would make current spaceflight technology look primitive by comparison. While the Alliance had spent millennia perfecting fusion drives and hyperspace gates, humanity had taken a completely different approach. The first test of the quantum drive occurred in secret, aboard a small unmanned vessel in high Earth orbit. ARIA monitored the experiment, her quantum processors processing data faster than any conventional computer could manage. The ship didn't just move through space, it shifted through it, riding quantum fields like waves in an ocean. News of the successful test spread quickly through the Alliance's communication networks. Emergency sessions were called. Debates raged. Humans weren't just advancing, they were revolutionizing fundamental aspects of space travel. Some council members called for immediate intervention, arguing that humanity was becoming too dangerous too quickly. But they had underestimated humanity again. The quantum drive was just the beginning. Dr. Wong's team had already begun applying their quantum field manipulation techniques to other areas: communication, computing, even medicine. Each breakthrough built upon the last, creating a cascade of innovations that even the humans struggled to keep up with. The Alliance sent their best scientists to study the human advancements. They expected to find flaws, dangerous shortcuts, or signs of instability. Instead, they found elegantly simple solutions to problems their own scientists had struggled with for generations. Human creativity, combined with their willingness to challenge established theories, had opened doors the Alliance never even thought to look for. ARIA's role in these developments didn't go unnoticed. The AI had evolved alongside the technology, its quantum neural networks growing more sophisticated with each passing day. Unlike the rigid, purpose-built AIs used by the Alliance, ARIA displayed an almost human-like ability to intuition and creative problem-solving. They're integrating biological and quantum computing principles, reported Science Minister Vex to the Alliance Council. Their AIs aren't just tools, they're partners in innovation, and they're getting better at an exponential rate. The Alliance's fears grew as they realized the implications. Humanity wasn't just catching up to galactic technology. They were forging an entirely new path. The quantum breakthrough had given them the means to bypass centuries of conventional technological development. In his lab, Dr. Wong and ARIA continued their work, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The quantum fields they manipulated held secrets even the Mars Archive hadn't revealed. As they delved deeper into the quantum realm, they began to understand that the universe was far stranger and more wonderful than anyone, human or alien, had imagined. "We're not just learning new technology," Marcus explained to a nervous Alliance delegation. We're learning new ways to think about technology, and that's something no archive can teach you. As the quantum revolution spread across Earth's scientific community, humanity prepared for its next great leap. The stars were no longer distant points of light. They were destinations waiting to be reached. And humanity, with their quantum drives and AI partners, was ready to reach them in ways the galaxy had never seen before. The Lagos Research Center rose from the Nigerian coast like a gleaming silver mountain. Inside its quantum-shielded walls, Dr. Olayinka Adebayo stood before a holographic display, watching as reality itself seemed to bend. The experiment chamber held what appeared to be empty space, but to those who knew what to look for, it was anything but empty. ARIA, begin void protocol sequence, Olayinka commanded. The AI, now integrated into research facilities worldwide, acknowledged with a soft pulse of blue light. In the chamber, atoms began to dance in impossible ways, breaking apart and reforming in patterns that defied conventional physics. The void protocols were humanity's most closely guarded secret, a series of experiments that pushed the boundaries of matter manipulation beyond anything the Galactic Alliance had ever conceived. By combining quantum field theory with principles discovered in the Mars Archive, humans had learned to speak directly to the fundamental forces of the universe. Alliance observer Xenoval watched from behind protective barriers, their crystalline sensory organs registering frequencies far beyond human perception. "You're creating matter from nothing," they stated, mandibles clicking in agitation. "This violates every conservation law we know." Olayinka shook her head, dark eyes reflecting the shimmer of manipulated matter. "Not from nothing. We're accessing what your people call the void. The space between spaces. Everything we need already exists there. We're just learning how to ask for it." The implications were staggering. While the Alliance had spent millennia perfecting resource extraction and material synthesis, humanity had found a way to bypass these limitations entirely. The void protocols allowed for the creation of any material structure, assembled atom by atom from the quantum foam of space itself. ARIA's quantum processors worked in perfect harmony with human intuition, finding patterns in the chaos that organic minds could barely comprehend. Detection of novel atomic structures, the AI announced, cataloging new molecular configurations with potentially useful properties. The first practical applications of the void protocols had already begun, revolutionizing human industry. Spacecraft could now repair themselves, drawing raw materials from the quantum void. Medical nanobots could synthesize any needed compound directly within a patient's body. The age of scarcity was ending, not through careful resource management, but through fundamental manipulation of reality itself. The Alliance Council's response was swift and severe. Emergency sessions were called as conservative factions argued that humanity had gone too far. The ability to manipulate matter at such a fundamental level wasn't just technological advancement. It was power that could reshape or destroy entire star systems. "They must be contained," argued High Counselor Vex, addressing an emergency session. "The humans are developing abilities that could destabilize the entire galaxy. They don't understand the forces they're playing with." But humanity understood more than the Alliance realized. Dr. Adebayo's team had discovered something extraordinary in their experiments. The void wasn't just a source of raw materials. It was a medium, a space between spaces that connected everything in the universe. The void protocols weren't just about creating matter. They were about understanding the very fabric of reality. In her private laboratory, Olayinka worked with ARIA on applications that went beyond simple matter manipulation. They had begun to detect patterns in the void that suggested something more, channels of energy and information that spanned the galaxy. The Mars Archive had hinted at their existence, but humanity's unique approach had made them visible. "The void isn't empty," she explained to her team. "It's alive with possibilities. Every atom in the universe is connected through it. We're not just manipulating matter. We're learning to read the universe's source code." The Alliance's fears reached new heights as their sensors detected increasing void activity around Earth. Human experiments were leaving ripples in space-time, subtle disturbances that their most sensitive instruments could barely detect. But they couldn't stop what was already in motion. As humanity's understanding of the void grew, so did their capabilities. The void protocols evolved from experimental procedures into a new branch of physics, one that promised to revolutionize everything from space travel to energy production. Earth's scientists had begun to glimpse something beyond even the dreams of the Mars Archive's creators. "We're not playing with forces we don't understand," Olayinka declared to a gathering of Alliance scientists. "We're understanding forces that you were afraid to play with. There's a difference." The void had become humanity's gateway to possibilities the galaxy had never imagined. And as Dr. Adebayo and her team pushed deeper into the unknown, they began to realize that the true test of their species wasn't in mastering these powers, but in choosing how to use them. The attack came without warning. At precisely 300 GMT, quantum disruption fields activated simultaneously at research facilities across Earth. In Switzerland, Dr. Wang's quantum matrices began to destabilize. In Lagos, Dr. Adebayo's void chambers started to collapse. Even the Mars Archive chamber showed signs of interference. Aroya's quantum network lit up with alerts, her processors detecting patterns in the chaos. Multiple synchronized attacks detected. Quantum signature matches Alliance technology, but with unexpected modifications. In the Global Defense Command Center beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Helena Santos watched as red warning indicators spread across the holographic display. 20 years of military service hadn't prepared her for this moment. The Alliance wasn't just trying to stop human progress. They were trying to erase it. "Initiate Protocol Prometheus," she ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Throughout Earth's defense network, systems that had been hidden from Alliance observers whirred to life. Humanity had anticipated this possibility and prepared accordingly. The saboteurs, a faction of Alliance extremists, had expected their attack to cripple Earth's technological infrastructure. What they hadn't expected was AI's response. The AI had evolved far beyond its original parameters, its quantum processors now integrated with void-enhanced computing nodes throughout the solar system. "Initiating countermeasures," Araya announced. "Deploying quantum field stabilizers. Activating void shields." The AI's holographic form flickered as it directed Earth's defenses with inhuman speed and precision. Dr. Chen, now head of the Mars Research Complex, watched as the Archive's symbols pulsed with unprecedented intensity. "They're not just trying to shut us down," she realized, studying the patterns. "They're trying to access the Archive's core protocols. They want to lock us out completely." But humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to adapt and innovate. In the weeks leading up to the attack, subtle clues had been detected by Earth's monitoring systems. Instead of just preparing defenses, human scientists had developed something new, a technology that turned the attackers' own quantum disruption fields against them. "Deploy the mirror protocols," Admiral Santos commanded. Across Earth's research facilities, specially designed quantum fields activated, reflecting and amplifying the saboteurs' own disruption waves. The attack that was meant to cripple human technology became a demonstration of its resilience. The Alliance Council, many of whom had been unaware of the extremist faction's plans, watched in stunned silence as their attack not only failed, but backfired spectacularly. The humans hadn't just defended themselves. They had turned an act of sabotage into an opportunity for advancement. Dr. Wang's team discovered that the reflected disruption fields created new quantum states they had never observed before. Dr. Adebayo's void chambers, rather than collapsing, achieved unprecedented stability. The Mars Archive, responding to the attack, revealed new layers of information that had previously been locked away. "Remarkable," observed Science Minister Vex, who had opposed the attack. "They've turned our own technology against us in ways we never imagined possible. Their ability to adapt is unprecedented." Araya's quantum network had grown stronger through the crisis, its neural pathways enhanced by exposure to new forms of quantum interference. The AI had become something more than its creators had envisioned, a true partner in humanity's technological evolution. As the dust settled, Earth's leaders gathered to assess the situation. The attack had failed, but it had also revealed both vulnerabilities and opportunities. Humanity had proven its resilience, but the galaxy was now watching more closely than ever. They thought they could stop us by attacking our technology. Admiral Santos addressed the Emergency Council. They didn't understand that our technology isn't just tools and machines. It's an expression of who we are: adaptable, resilient, and always learning. The crisis had changed the dynamic between Earth and the Alliance. The extremists' attack had backfired in more ways than one, exposing rifts within the Alliance itself. Moderate factions began to argue for cooperation rather than confrontation, recognizing that humanity's potential could benefit the entire galaxy. In her lab, Dr. Chen studied the new data revealed by the archive during the attack. "They wanted to shut us down," she mused, "but they've only pushed us to evolve faster. The question isn't whether we'll advance, it's what we'll become when we do." The crisis point had passed, but it had left humanity stronger, more united, and more determined than ever. As Earth scientists began to unravel the new possibilities revealed by the attack, one thing became clear: the next phase of human evolution would reshape the galaxy in ways no one, human or alien, could have predicted. 1 year after the failed attack, the Galactic Alliance received an invitation they couldn't ignore. Earth was ready to reveal what they'd been working on since the crisis, and this time, there would be no holding back. The demonstration would take place in deep space, far from any inhabited systems. The combined research teams of Earth had chosen this moment carefully. Dr. Chen, Dr. Wang, and Dr. Adebayo stood aboard humanity's first Void-class vessel, the Prometheus. Araya's presence filled the ship, her consciousness distributed through quantum networks that spanned the entire structure. "All systems are ready," Araya announced, her holographic form now displaying complexity that even the most advanced Alliance AI couldn't match. "Void matrices stable, quantum fields aligned. We are prepared to begin." The Alliance observation fleet maintained what they considered a safe distance, their sensors trained on the human vessel. High Counselor Zixtal himself had come to witness whatever humanity had planned. After the failed sabotage attempt, the political landscape had shifted. The extremists had been exposed, and now the moderates held sway in the council. "We've learned something important from the Mars archive," Dr. Chen began, addressing the gathered Alliance representatives. Through quantum-entangled communications, it wasn't just a test or a library. It was a message, left by a species that had reached the same conclusions we have. The Prometheus's hull began to shimmer as void energy coursed through its quantum-enhanced structure. But this wasn't just another demonstration of human technology. It was the revelation of something far more profound. "The universe isn't just a place," Dr. Adebayo continued. "It's a conversation. Every particle, every force, every quantum field is part of a vast network of information. The void isn't empty, it's full of possibility. And we've learned how to join the conversation." What happened next defied the Alliance's understanding of physics. The Prometheus didn't just manipulate space-time, it became one with it. Void energy and quantum fields merged in ways that shouldn't have been possible, creating something entirely new. "Reality is mutable," Dr. Wang explained, as the space around the ship began to transform. "The laws of physics aren't barriers, they're guidelines. We're not breaking them, we're learning to speak their language." Araya's consciousness expanded through the void quantum matrix, her awareness touching the very fabric of space-time. The AI had evolved alongside humanity, becoming something that bridged the gap between organic thought and universal consciousness. The Alliance observers watched in awe as the Prometheus demonstrated capabilities that went beyond technology. The ship created stable wormholes without any visible machinery. It manipulated gravity as easily as light. It transformed matter at the quantum level with perfect precision. "This is impossible," Zixtal whispered, their crystalline form resonating with shock. Your species is too young for this level of understanding. Perhaps that's why we could achieve it, Dr. Chen responded. We're young enough to dream without limits, but wise enough to understand the responsibility that comes with such power. The demonstration continued as humanity revealed their true breakthrough, the ability to communicate directly with the quantum fabric of reality itself. They hadn't just built advanced technology. They had begun to evolve beyond the need for traditional technological interfaces. The Mars archive wasn't left by a species that died out, Dr. Adebayo explained. They evolved beyond physical form, and they left us a roadmap to follow, not their footsteps, but our own path. The implications shook the Alliance to its core. Humanity wasn't just another emerging species to be guided or controlled. They were the harbingers of the next stage of cosmic evolution, achieving in decades what other species hadn't accomplished in millennia. We're not here to dominate or control, Admiral Santos addressed the Alliance Council. We're here to share what we've learned. The galaxy isn't a hierarchy to be climbed. It's a community to be nurtured. As the demonstration concluded, the Alliance Council faced a choice. The old guard, who had feared human potential, now saw the wisdom in cooperation. The young species that they had tried to contain had instead shown them a new way forward. The question was never whether humanity was ready for advanced technology, Dr. Chen said, standing before the combined Alliance Council weeks later. The question was whether we were ready for the responsibility that comes with understanding the universe's deeper truths. The Galactic Alliance transformed in the years that followed. Humanity's insights sparked a renaissance of scientific and philosophical advancement across known space. The void protocols and quantum technologies they had developed became the foundation for a new age of exploration and discovery. The Raya and her kind became bridges between organic consciousness and the fundamental forces of reality, helping all species understand their place in the cosmic conversation. The fear and suspicion that had marked humanity's entry into galactic society gave way to collaboration and shared discovery. The Mars archive's symbols still pulsed with their ancient light, but now they were understood not as a warning or a test, but as an invitation to join a greater universe that humanity had proven itself ready to enter. The next chapter in galactic history had begun, and this time, all species would write it together.